Yes, sir. First things first, bro. This isn't really a gender war issue, just pointing out the obvious. For years, bros, we've seen modern women, with the help of the media, promote nothing but nonsense to make themselves feel better about being single, being non dateable, non compatible. The list goes on. Hot girl summer, city girls. We've seen movies that get promoted to where women go out in groups and then they have miscellaneous dick in all parts of the world. Girls Trip, how Stella got her groove back. And we're seeing replicas of that right now. Women that are approaching 30, 35, 40 are out here still acting as if they just turned 21, but that's their business, of course. We're not going to throw shade because there's so many options out here. That's what they always say. But then they get on social media and bitch about why they're single, why they're doing this by themselves. That's another story. Not even to counter that or combat that, you got men out here that create their own movements because they're tired of the bullshit. Why would you still want to stay at a job that you're tired of when you feel that you could do better? The same is with the woman. Why would you stay with her when you feel as if that you can do better? You're not stuck, bro. You're only stuck because you want to be stuck. You're comfortable. You don't feel as if you can do better, so that it's really a you issue. You got people calling themselves passport bros. We see so many movements on the internet, and it's for men to guide other men, older, younger. The age group really doesn't matter. To go out and explore your options. Like I said, with how Stella got her groove back, you got a middle-aged woman in the U.S., and she goes to Jamaica, meets a younger man, and women love that shit. There's no movies about men going out in groups to Mexico, Jamaica, DR, wherever it may be, bro. Bringing women back to the U.S. Where is it? Where are those movies, bro? I don't see them. Shout out to these young brothers that want to get their passports. You got older men out here who call themselves OGs and old school who haven't left their city. They only leave their city to go on AAU basketball tournaments. That's nothing. That's not exploring your options. That's not exploring the world, bro. So many people are your elder and they have not received or even went out to get a passport, bro. So kudos to the brothers that want to get their passport and explore their options. So they're guiding men, telling them, don't worry about the woman in the U.S. You do not have to be stuck with these women. And of course, these women are going to holla because it hurts on the inside. Of course, you got a lot of black men that will throw shade at black women. That comes with the territory because they want a black woman at the end of the day. But when all they see is the black women that support Glorilla, Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls, the list goes on, they're non-compatible, bro. They're non-dateable, bro. These are the guys that got passed on for the Young Thugs, the Futures, the Kevin Gates, the Moneybag Yo's, the dudes that smoke blunts in the corner of the nightclub, and now they're a baby mother of one, of two, three, or four. It is what it is. So these black men that get their passports and go overseas, they're exploring their options. They're not just going to DR, Brazil, Jamaica, Mexico, wherever it may be, just to get ass. Because in this segment, the brother Isaiah is going to have two sisters out here because now they want to throw shade and shit at these passport brothers, calling them sex tourists, as if they're just going across whatever, as if they're just going to whatever island it may be, whatever destination it may be, just to chase ass. A lot of women are going to throw shade and say, you can't get ass in the U.S., bro. Every immigrant across the world knows that the women in the U.S. are the biggest hoes in the planet. Be real. Immigrants from all over will come here to the U.S. and treat these scallywags like nothing but side pieces. They're non-dateable, they're non-wifeable, they're not wife material, they're not wife material based off of the shit that they support, bro. The proof is in the pudding. Pay attention. So men could easily get ass out here. It is not a difficult task. The point is finding a wife, finding peace. And why would you feel like you got to be stuck on your block with the same hood boogers that go to the nightclubs? The same chicks that want to twerk and yell A in every video, when you could go ahead and deal with a meek girl on an island that was raised different. To each his own, though. Let's check it out.
Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Is sex in your travel itinerary? It's one of the travel goals for a community called the Passport Bros, meaning brothers. It's a traveling community of upwardly mobile black men. Some are accused of going around the world searching for sex in your travel itinerary. It's one of the travel goals for a community called the Passport Bros, meaning brothers. It's a traveling community of upwardly mobile black men. Some are accused of going around the world searching for a more traditional and submissive wife. But is it all about sex and just a girlfriend for hire and then return home to humiliate black women in America? That's the controversy that we're dealing with. One of its members, Austin Holman, is apologizing for comments that he made about Brazilian women. Take a listen.
What I meant by when I said that Brazilian women are easy, and I shouldn't use the word easy. I know that now. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, for a man that's well-mannered, well-dressed, that has put in the effort to raise himself, he will have an easier time in Brazil as opposed to where I was from. That wasn't always the case.
And those are the facts. And bros gotta really be easy, even though you know you mean no harm. But dealing with these modern women, bro, how overly sensitive they are, how damaged on the inside they are, anything you say will and can be used against you as an attack to make themselves feel like they're the victim, to make you feel like you're bitter or you're the damaged one. So, of course, a good amount of these women are easier to deal with because they come up from different cultures. Young men that are out here trying to do the right things get passed over for dudes that smoke blunts in the nightclub, dudes with multiple baby mothers, dudes that fit the images of rappers. The list goes on. So what are they trying to do here? They're trying to basically shame and guilt trip men who get called squares, who get called corny, nice guys. They're trying to guilt them into not exploring their options and stay here in the U.S. and deal with these hood boogers and scallywags. That's not what you want to do.
American and women around the world are speaking out against the Passport Bros.
And it's not just about black women. It's about all women, bro. All of these women are pretty much messed up. Not all, but more than most.
Arguing these guys are using their status to take advantage of women and even calling it a form of sex tourism and sex trafficking.
So time out. Aren't women in the U.S. using men's status to become baby mothers and be set with child support? Aren't we seeing that on a day-to-day basis, bro? We're not hearing anything about these groups of women called groupies who attack athletes and people with a good status to get a child and child support so they don't have to work. Getting $50K a month for child support. And these women don't have a debit card with that account so we can see what they're spending on. Because all they're going on is shopping sprees, getting their hair, nails done, taking their girls out for brunch. But nobody cares. They give the woman a pass. And that's what men are waking up to on a day-to-day basis. Why would you want to deal with women that are about this game, that would listen to a female rapper that talks about this shit? Why would you deal with that?
Bros, arguing these guys are using their status to take advantage of women and even calling it a form of sex tourism and sex trafficking. Let's talk about it. Communications specialist Priscilla Pack and Rochelle Gemini both are here on The Factor Uncensored. We were supposed to do this last week. We're doing it this week. You have done a lot of research. When you think about and what you've heard about Passport Bros, your opinion on this so-called group.
Let me tell you, they weren't even on my radar. You brought it up to me, and then I saw it, and I was just like, oh, that's cute. You know, guys go and get their passports. My son just got his passport last week. He's 9, so that's cool. Passport brothers, that's what's up. Then I started doing the research, and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I grew up, you know, with 2-parent household. My parents still happily married. I grew up in love. Some people grew up in survival mode, and maybe they just in a whole nother dimension of trying to find love.
The question is, since you grew up in a 2-parent household, is your son doing the same? A good amount are automatically going to guess no, because you're sitting here talking about passport brothers out here exploring their options. No doubt.
Or trying to find easy situations and everything. But at the same time, it was like, why do you have to put down the thing that you don't like in front of everybody just to get the thing that you do want? I don't care.
They're not putting down what they don't like. They're putting down the attitude of the woman that they actually like. The attitude of these women are pushing them to do these things. When these pit bulls come out of the corner to attack men in these segments, they're not coming out in a rational way. They don't come out to understand that, you know what, maybe a lot of these girls are difficult, so I can understand why they're going to Brazil and all of these other places. Nah, bro. They're upset. They're upset. They're upset of the fact that you don't want to stay on that same block, that same city, going to the same bars, same clubs, wherever it may be, bro.
That being black women in America, putting them down for women who may be of color in another country.
Right, that want to be a little more
also submissive
exactly
to them.
Exactly.
But also,
all submissive means is cooperative. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that these women are on all fours. You might see a good amount of videos to where a lot of dudes want to go to the extreme and say, look, my girl is cooking fried chicken for me. Oh my goodness, look, my girl is taking my shoes off. And those are the cornballs. Like, those are the dudes. Those are the bad apples. It is what it is.
paid prostitution in many cases, who may be of color in another country.
Right, that want to be a little more
also submissive
exactly
to them.
Exactly.
But also paid prostitution in many cases.
Now here we go with the bullshit. Yo, here we go with the bullshit, bro. If you're in this modern dating game, bro, that's already paid prostitution. These women have no problem being prostitutes to get their bills paid for, to go out for free meals. A lot of these dudes, more than most, are tricks, are Johns. These women support modern day prostitutes. They're called rappers, entertainers. So what are we talking about here living in the U.S.? It's paid prostitution left and right. So what is the difference? At least the prostitutes overseas got a better attitude. Like,
and that's what they covering up. And you can tell that by the way that, what's his name, Austin, was talking, because I saw the other videos of him going like, hey, you would have sexual intercourse with me tonight, right? And she's saying, yes. They about to really get a lick on him. That's what's really about to happen. Because I also saw some of the women from overseas saying, yeah, we're just trying to get a lick. You know, they also came out saying, we know these passport bros. They not new.
Women in the U.S. say the same thing. Women in the U.S. are doing the exact same thing. They're cycling on dating apps, setting dudes up to get robbed. They're getting dudes robbed that did them dirty. Their ex that moved on. Got dudes dressing up in Amazon clothing so they could rob the dude. Come on, bro. We see this on a day-to-day basis to where men are losing their lives over women. But that's never a topic of discussion. because these women, the topic, the main line that's on the internet, they do not hold themselves accountable.
So essentially, they're chumps themselves.
Yes.
They're simply Johns on the streets of America.
There might be some that might be actually looking for love that can't find it maybe in America, but
And
you
you're right.
didn't let some rotten apples into y'all group, and y'all need to call the ones out that's not doing it correctly, because baby, we not just in America. You can claim wherever you want to be anytime. I don't care.
We don't believe that you don't care. And the problem is this. Too many women, too many single women that are in the U.S. are going on social media, the internet, segments like this that are basically hit pieces to attack men that are guiding young men to explore their options. These men are tired of you single women telling them what to do. Meanwhile, you're not telling women how to act or how to move better, how to do better, how to dress better, how to choose better. These women are only telling men what they should be doing. They get on the internet and talk about what they have going on, all of these things. Meanwhile, they're still sitting there with the wine, watching Netflix, taking selfies, and taking pictures of their toes. Come on, man.
Passport, go find your love. But at the same time, don't put down us just because you feel like you've had some rejection. Deal with rejection. Heal. Go do your thing. We don't care.
And of course, we're not talking about all individuals who may travel out of the country. But Priscilla, for those who may be taking advantage of women out there and then trying to humiliate black women in America, your thoughts about that?
I think it's really, really sad. Like, I look at them and I almost want to pity them, but then I don't, because there's a level of ignorance that's deplorable. Go ahead and use that word today. I think that they are taking advantage, at least from what they project themselves to be as a group. They're taking advantage of gender gaps and economic opportunities that are not there in these other countries that are present for us.
So you don't think they're taking advantage of the fact that the U.S. dollar is worth more in other countries? Are we not being rational and looking at that fact? Are we not understanding where they're coming from? We want to call it deplorable, things of that nature. When you don't call the music of the entertainers, of the paid prostitutes, deplorable, despicable, you don't see where they're coming from. They're not just putting black women down. They're putting down all women. But when you have women in these situations, they feel hurt because they know it's about them, i.e. Amber Rose, when somebody could be like, we're not messing with these hoes. Her feelings get hurt because she knows that's what she is deep down on the inside. She does everything because there's no shame in being a slut and getting what you want from men, regardless of what she says.
In America, in the States, in Canada, in Scandinavia, all over the world, and not even thinking back to the history of why are women and people made to be so independent in this country today. I think there's so many factors that they shove to the side for their preferences and trying to deem it a movement, which is so disappointing to hear. The civil rights movement was a movement.
Get the fuck out of here with that civil rights bullshit. And you people are still singing "We Shall Overcome" in 2023. So miss me with the bullshit about that. But you don't want to communicate and be a specialist about that situation. Come on, bruh. Come on. Civil rights movement, my ass.
You know, anti-apartheid movement was a movement.
Come on.
So I'm thinking of Passport Bros like, this is a shame. You could really take advantage of your opportunity to educate people on how to get a passport, to go overseas, travel the world, and to learn, and not just make it be about sex. And the fact that now you're putting this stigma on people and black people in America, that is literally mushing us down. I hate that I said mushing, couldn't find a better word right there.
Right.
But like bringing us down. Right. They all know. They know. But what does that do for our perspective?
Quick, them talk some of them, not all of them, talk so badly about black women in America, saying you guys are too bossy, you're too much, you're not feminine enough.
Hey, yo, man, I've been hearing this shit for years. Men have been hearing it for years. Men have been talking about it for years. And it's still falling upon deaf ears. It gets laughed at. It gets looked over. It gets disregarded, just like right now. You got dudes out here that try to throw jokes and laugh with these single women. Meanwhile, nothing is changing. They just want to talk to men like their 9-year-old son and wonder why they're not getting any love in return. Does it make any sense? Are we trying to sit here and wonder why all of these things are taking place, or do we just want to attack the men for exploring their options, using the power of their dollar in another country that brings them peace? And of course, a good amount of men are going to shit on the women in the U.S. because they are deplorable.
For them.
I think that sounds a lot to me like insecurities and the inability to seek what you want with what you have, where you are. That's what I really think about that. It almost disgusts me and is borderline gaslighting to sit here and treat American women, American black women, and try to shut us down because we may be educated or have.
Here we go with this bullshit. Yo, man, listen, it's not shutting you all down. Just like he's talking about not all passport brothers are shitting on American women, on black American women in the U.S. You guys are doing that. You guys are doing that all by yourself. You call yourselves independent, but you're dependent on so many other things to make yourselves feel better about yourselves. But I'm not going to go down that pipeline. This is not about men going to other countries. It's to guilt trip men into not exploring their options. These women out here that ask the same question, where are all of the good men? I want a man that wants to take care of me. You had that man that was bringing you flowers, but you wanted to shit on him on prom night with Tom and Larry from the football team. And now that man, who might have been bitter, but he overcame that bitterness and now he's doing better. And now they're mad. They don't want these good guys who they try to go to when they're 30, 35 to be in another country because they're going to be stuck in their position, an apartment, a house, a kid, and they can't leave. So they're going to be watching how Stella got her groove back, thinking of that good man. How did I lose that? To all the black men in the U.S., because I have conversations with dudes that are like 23 and they're just tired of chicks, bro. So this isn't far-fetched out here. This segment is really true to life, bro. A lot of dudes, 23, 33, 43, 53, 63, are sitting here like, damn, maybe I should have did this. Maybe I should have did that. You just want to be like, oh, well, bro. You don't want to be like, what if? What if I got my passport? What if I took that job that was in another city? What if you know what I'm saying? You don't want to go down that road. And a good amount of these people want you to. They want to guilt trip you so you stay in the same city, the same neighborhood, same state, dealing with these scallywags with tired walls, going nowhere fast. It's enough of that. I'm out.